Today, I am going to talk about the COVID 19 online counseling perspective, which has been very close to my heart because during this journey, I have learned a lot from so many people. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. Amina Mausam, tenured Associate Professor of Psychology, and I am working in Department of Applied Psychology, Lahore College for Women University, which is one of the largest women university of Asia. Looking at a different perspective, first of all, I would like to begin a brief detail about the coronavirus and its implication in our society. Coronavirus are a large family of viruses that cause illness ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as Middle East respiratory syndrome and severe acute respiratory syndrome. COVID 19 is thought to spread mainly through close contact from person to person. The 2019 novel coronavirus disease has spread to more than 213 countries. First case of COVID 19 was reported in Pakistan by the end of February from Azad Kashmir. In South Asia, Pakistan is the country where coronavirus was spreading very fast. A majority of COVID 19 infection in Pakistan are because of the pilgrims who returned to Pakistan from Iran earlier. The Balochistan Provisional Government quarantined them at Taftan border with Iran. However, health experts alleged that they were badly mishandled by the authorities. For protection and avoidance of the spread of coronavirus, the government of Pakistan imposed lockdown on 16th March 2020, but by May, Pakistan had the highest number of active cases in South Asia since SOPs loosely observed in public places. Looking at the rate of cases and deaths, now by 20th July 2020, confirmed cases of COVID 19 are 2,53,604 and confirmed deaths are 5,320. Smart lockdown caused the number of recovered cases to spike up and general positive effects were observed. The general community approach and attitude was assessed during the online counseling perspective. It has been seen that low literacy rate and general lack of awareness lead to non-seriousness of people towards the adoption of social distance and hand hygiene. Despite there being no cure for COVID 19 at the moment, patients showed signs of recovery by early diagnosis coupled with supportive therapies. People believed wearing a mask could help in prevention of COVID 19. Moreover, the majority of the people were with the view that patients infected with COVID 19 should be isolated. Work from home was also practiced during lockdown in the country. Now, the important question was that why were online counseling services needed? Pakistan's economy was affected as businesses were shut down. COVID 19 had negative effect on the mental health of the community. The virus had spread at an alarming rate, collapsing the health system and social safety networks to respond to the long-standing and emerging needs of people. Our community engagement services and outreach activities were affected, which includes mobilization, training, counseling, community outreach sessions, peer-to-peer sessions, door-to-door home visits, and youth engagement channels. Pakistan's fiscal deficit will be significantly worse than projected this year, with the fallout from the novel coronavirus pandemic pushing millions into unemployment and poverty, according to government estimates as reviewed by the Reuters. So, how we went for setting up free online counseling services. In the wake of current pandemic, where the general community was going through psychological pressure and imbalance, Lahore College for Women University, in a joint venture with International Young Psychologists Society, has launched online counseling services in the light of spread of COVID-19. It was supervised by Verdi Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Bushra Mirza. The objective behind this project is to help those in need on a smaller scale, initially without cost. Due to the rising number of COVID 19 patients, public anxiety and general stress is on rise. Thus, main target is the general public who is going through pressure and mental health issues. The project facilitates in briefing about corona and precautions, counseling quarantine patients and caregivers that are dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression, addressing psychosocial aspects of corona, bereavement counseling to families, and health tips to boost immunity. This was the first project that extended online counseling services for general community in any public sector universities. Voice of America also covered our online counseling services. Sessions were started from April 2020. It was evident that panic and fear were predominant. So far, 1,340 participants were included and issues were recorded. So a complete database is established for taking the record of all the clients and their problems. Counseling services were provided, appropriate recommendations were made. Now I would like to show you a brief table which shows the demography of participants taking online counseling session to give you an idea about the gender percentage who consulted us. There was 75% of the male, 24% females, and 1% transgender. Looking at the age ranges, the young adults of age 17 to 35 consulted, middle age 36 to 55 consulted, and older adults 56 to onwards consulted. There were 50% of the participants who reported to be belonging from the lower class, 30% from the middle class, and 20% from the upper class. It has been observed that in this pandemic, although many people are facing psychological issues such as depression, anxiety, panic attacks, but many cases have now been diagnosed that had their roots traced back to the situation prior to the pandemic. It was very surprising to know that these problems were reported in this pandemic and the whole situation accelerated their problems. Here I would like to share two cases which would be as an example for you to understand the situation. The first case was depression in a high achiever boy, and a second case was a gender dysphoria in an adolescent girl. Looking at the first case, a case was reported of a 17 years old boy. His mother reported his symptoms of significant weight loss, sleep disturbance, fatigue, loss of energy, and overall unhappiness with repeated crying spells. During consultation, he was identified as a case of severe depression that he was suffering from last 3 years, but it was not diagnosed earlier. His problem was identified when he remained at home in this pandemic, and his parents observed him keenly and referred him for counseling. This pandemic helped his parents to sort out the problem of their son by reaching the counselor. Parental consent was included in giving any type of intervention that was to be used for the treatment of the boy. The second case was of a 12 years old girl having symptoms of confusion and anger issues, weight loss, and social withdrawal. She came into contact during online counseling sessions. Counselor's investigation revealed that she had a transgender friend abroad and she was closely knitted to her friend. Counselor explored that she disliked her identity, she was not comfortable with her sex assigned at birth, and wanted to stop her physical growth as a girl. She was experiencing distress and anxiety. Her mother approached a counselor in pandemic and an illness was revealed as meeting the criteria for gender dysphoria. The diagnosis was clear because of marked incongruence between one's expressed gender and assigned gender, however not easy to diagnose until deep conversation was established. All the interventions that were used were approved with the consent of the parents and to help the girl identify her issues and to solve them. Through the online counseling sessions, it was identified that impact was quite high on children, adolescents, men, and women of all ages. By and large, the impact was divided into four major categories, that is physical impact, psychological impact, social impact, and financial impact. I will be briefly talking about the major kind of and sources of impacts which were being seen on different age groups and genders. The children reported disturbed sleep cycle because of the change in routine. They reported weakness and stiffness of muscles by spending too much time on screens and lack of physical activity. The psychological impact was evident as irritability as a result of monotonous routine, frustration and stubbornness on petty things as a result of seeing parents being angry and anxious most of the time, Confusion in younger children, as it is difficult for them to understand the whole situation which is being caused by the pandemic. Looking at the social impact, some children missed going to school and friends, social isolation as a result of limited or no outgoing and interaction. Financial instability of the parents also resulted in confusion of a children because they were being refused when they asked to buy different things. Looking at the impact on adolescents, muscle tension and stiffness was also reported as a physical problem. Stomach and digestion issues were seen. Tiredness and disturbed sleep was reported. As far as the psychological impact is concerned, the adolescents were frustrated due to the lack of outdoor activities, anger issues, fear of catching coronavirus was there. Social impact was seen in terms of their missed social contact with friends and loved ones, social distancing causing anxiety, lack of social support. Financial impact was assessed that there was an increase in expenditure, that is internet and other related activities which were being, involved a lot of money to be spent. Family members job at risk and trouble managing finances. Impact of women was quite high. They reported disturbed sleep, stiffness in muscles, stomach problems. The psychological impact was reported as they were easily frustrated. They reported anxiety, hopelessness about future. Social impact was seen as they were socially isolated, losing of social support, missing hangout with friends and family, their work routine was not there. There was a fear of being jobless, and there was increased family expenses and limited job opportunities were there for them. Impact of women was also addressed. The physical impact revealed stiffness and tension in muscles, diarrhea, sleep problems like insomnia or hypersomnia. Anxiety related to coronavirus was very high in women. Depression related to reproductive health issues, anger and frustration due to house chores load. Social impact was seen as facing domestic and intimate partner violence. They feel socially isolated due to lockdown, lack of social support due to physical distance. Financial impact was assessed as they were feeling difficulty in managing grocery and budget, facing financial troubles due to lack of salary, and family members' job at risk. So these were the kind of the impacts which were clearly evident. Now looking at the identification of general problems during online session faced by Pakistani population. The common nature of the problems were increased financial burden, high crime rate, elevated anxiety and depression level. We found the traces of obsessive compulsive behavior in young adults. There was increase in suicidal potential, disturbed social life, increased rate of drug abuse, especially among young adults, frequent reporting of psychosomatic symptoms among female population. There were the cases of domestic violence being reported, high divorce rate due to frustration and aggression resulting from the financial issues as well as misunderstanding among family members because they were spending a lot of time together at home during this situation. Another problem was that the people who were at high risk were came into contact. People who responded more strongly to stress during COVID-19 includes people caring for family members who are tested positive or in quarantine. This was a very difficult experience for them. Frontline workers such as healthcare providers, nurses, doctors, psychologists, and so many others who are in health professions. Even people who are working in pharmacies and testing labs, people having inappropriate information about precautionary measures, people with chronic illness, for example, diabetes, hypertension, asthma, heart diseases, etc., and older adults and children being more vulnerable. Now, I would very briefly like to talk about the strategies which were being used for online counseling. First of all, psychoeducation was extended to clients, which is a process of providing education and information to those seeking or receiving mental health services as people are diagnosed with mental health conditions and their family members. Psychoeducation was given to the clients using online resources, and it helped the client to better understand the actual problems he or she faced and the root cause of their problem. Jacobson relaxation technique was also briefed to clients that focuses on tightening and relaxing the specific muscle groups in sequence. Instructions were given to the clients by therapists online by using different applications, for example, Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp call, and etc. Videos were also sent to them to practice. This technique was effective in helping the client to reduce the anxiety and stress levels as well as it helped to reduce somatic symptoms. Activity schedule was one of a very effective technique which was used, and it brings the client towards normal daily life, especially those who are facing depressive symptoms. Activity scheduling was done online, and counselor provided activity schedule to the client after having information from them. Counselor first inquired and listened the activity which the client was following. Then counselor rescheduled the activities of a client and assigned some tasks to the client. Activity scheduling helped the client to reduce depression by involving the client into healthy activities and help them to socialize, which reduced their anxiety level. Guided imagery technique was briefed to clients. This technique helped them to physically relax their body quickly and efficiently. It helped participants to get in touch with deeper level of a wisdom on a subconscious level and then led them to better manage their lives in a way that would reduce stress. The counselor provided online instructions to the clients who were facing difficulty due to the depressive symptoms, irritability, aggressiveness, and many other health problems. Guided imagery was an effective technique to help the clients to relax and feel comfortable during period of COVID-19, and this technique reported to be used very effectively by many clients. Religious cognitive emotional therapy was another one which was extended by having knowledge about clients' religion, problems, and referring the client some religious tasks to be performed. For example, the counselor asked the client with depressive symptoms to listen the audio of Surah Rahman, which may have soothing effect on client, and they reported it to be worked very well. RCET is an effective method of psychotherapy for the treatment of those who suffer from identity crisis, depression, anxiety, and it can be developed to address other psychological disorders as well. This technique was customized as per need of the client. Moreover, systematic desensitization was also used. Basically, the clients were asked to create fear hierarchy, starting at a stimuli that create the least anxiety and building up into the stages to the most fear-provoking images. The list was crucial as it provided a structure for the therapy and it varied from client to client. The counselor provided online instructions using application softwares to the client, as the client of course cannot visit the therapist because of lockdown situation during COVID-19. Systematic desensitization worked really well on clients and they substitute their anxiety with the relaxation response. Family therapy helped family member to improve communication and resolve conflict. This was also done online by using application softwares. Clients were asked to join the online meetings. Only those family members are invited who are willing to resolve the issues among family members. This therapy also helped the client to resolve relationship problems and to decrease communication gaps. Family therapy also helped the clients to avoid domestic violence, marital abuse, divorce, and many other problems. So basically, from online learning courses to indoor play, relaxation exercise, yoga and meditation, aerobic exercise, prayer, creative activities, positive thinking, installation of hope, reading, music, everything which we thought would be help a specific client was suggested to them as a coping strategy during COVID-19 pandemic. So basically, the whole idea, the whole perspective of online counseling went very well. We thought that our counseling sessions were a real success because we really tried to, eliminate the psychological and social impact of COVID-19 from the clients by providing them different strategies. And we feel that the analysis comes to the point that men were more affected. They face more economical issues and mental stress than women during the pandemic. According to the results of socioeconomic status, the upper class was less affected during the pandemic because they have more resources and access to counseling sessions. Men consulted with psychologists. through calls than women more for counseling purposes. Online counseling services provided them with psychoeducation, Jacobson relaxation technique, activity scheduling, guided imagery, and all other which we just discussed with you. So this is one of the clip of online session on quarantine, and from home we have been constantly working and tried our best to provide the services to the vulnerable population. Thank you very much for listening to this online counseling perspective. And I'm sure that we still keep going, and we are doing our best and providing our services to the population in Pakistan. And we hope and pray that soon that we will get over this COVID-19 pandemic and life will be back to its new normal. Thank you very much for listening to me patiently.